Okay, so gardening vlog number 4. Yeah, 4. And today, because yesterday I cut all of this, or most of it. But edging up there, as you can see, I have started to dig this section out. So I've basically done along here, got loose along there, got the edge of where I want it to stop, which is like there, and then there I think, and then I went along the other side of how far I want to go back, and then I cut like it into sections along this way, and then I went one so it splits it in half. As you can see. So I think what I want to do now is just like sort of like chop it into really small pieces with the spade until it's pretty much turned into dirt, and then maybe some bits I might have to like get rid of. So it might be like this bit goes up higher, so I might have to remove some of this dirt, or a big chunk of grass there, I might have to remove that. So there'll be bits I might have to remove and put somewhere else. Not like perfectly, but just like dump it somewhere. And then hopefully this will all just be leveled enough outground, which is good enough to the same level as the concrete. No dips or bits to go higher. I don't want it to be like really different to all of the existing stuff. So this is all just like a big, thick wall of old stuff, and the other bit maybe goes up or down. Or so I basically want it to be similar level, but just more flat and just dirt. So then, like, I don't know, later on in the year, like September or something, I can probably turn it over again and put some seed down and just regrow it all. And then probably once that's done, I can, maybe next year I can do this bit. I can do more bits. I won't be able to do all in one go because that would be too much. What I used to do is, because back then when I first started looking after this area, it was more unlevel. So I basically, the reasons why there were just like bits to go up and down is because those would have been bits of dirt I would have dug up in the past. Like because this bit's always more flatter, this bit would have all been dug up, and any bits of dirt would have just been put along the back there, and over time that would have just turned into all stuff would have grown there. So because like this was all newly seeded like 5 years ago, basically in like the end of October it was seeded. No, end of 2015 it was seeded. Probably around sort of September time it was done, because I remember doing a video and it was like 3 weeks later in it. I think it was all like this section, it was all just grew, because I'd done it all. Cause I think the 2014 I'd done like bits, and there were some bits that were lower, and then I'd just redone it all that following year, because I think I'd done this. There's a bit over here that I'd done like a year before, back in 2014, and I think there's just bits I'd done, and then 2015 I just redone it all. Because this used to be all grass, obviously it is, but this is all like you could be able to seal this fence, and now it's all just taken over by this annoying weed that grows all here. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if its roots starts from like on this side, or if it's came through like the fence. But yeah, I'll just start to try and turn it all over now, and I'll come back when it's all done, or get as much as I can done. Okay, so I have done the rough dig, which is pretty much just turn it all over. And it's not going to look perfect at first because there's all bits of grass and big stones and stuff in, but at least I've got the bit I wanted. and it's obviously not going to be level, but this won't be done until, I probably won't seed it until like end of this year anyway, so like September, so it'll probably have time for bits to grow back and weeds. It will mainly probably be just the weeds that will probably grow back, maybe that grass will start to re-root again, because there are the roots still. It'll probably, like, the grass will start to re-root, and then loads of weeds that will come up. But yeah, so this is enough for today. I did dig some of it up because this bit was more higher up than all that. I did put it up there originally, and then just for now I just like put it back on and just broke it all up. Those bits are fine, they can stay there. So eventually I'll end up just probably moving most of this anyway until it's pretty much level, got rid of all the stones that I can, until it's just ready for me to just put some seed on it, and then just hope it will grow. That'll be like September time, so it'll be nice warm then. Then it can just hopefully I'll water it like every day, every evening, and it can just hopefully grow into something new. Just better quality grass. It would be that bit, like, if I end up doing this. Don't know, I might do, but I have to see. If I end up doing it, it'd be just that bit, and if it does grow fully, that bit will build a nice new bit, and the rest of it will be a hole. And if I don't look after it, it'll be like weeds in about another year or two. So, yeah. Edge still looking good, the grass is fine from when it was cut yesterday, because obviously it's not really going to grow overnight. It's like magic, it's going to just grow back to how it was. Edge definitely does make it look much more neater. Even if it's the time, even if it's like, if you just like left it for a couple of weeks and a couple of weeds grew back and you done it with a strimmer, it would still look neater. Like this, if this is all like edged along here, it's not really that bad, it's just all the bits growing in the cracks of the path. If this is all gone, it would definitely look more neater. So anything with an edge, it basically looks better. If you have it overgrown onto the path, it just basically look like you don't really take care of the garden that well. Like this isn't too bad, but if it did have an edge right up to the line, then it would definitely look more neater. Front garden on day 3, and there's Bob sitting in her normal space, kind of flattening it. That's probably why the bit hasn't grown that much, because, well, one, because this bit is like covering it up, and because Bob keeps on sitting on it when it was long. Meow. And there's a feather here. So yeah, the grass is definitely, I'm just going to follow me now. The grass is definitely growing quite a bit after another day, definitely probably another centimetre more compared to yesterday. So it definitely grows quick, but it's still a bit patchy, obviously, because obviously it's not going to just magically fill in all the bits overnight, but it will. When you look at it from further away, it looks fine, but yeah, so I'll probably get a massive bag of seed. I think, hopefully, if Wilco, or Wilkinson, as some people call it, if they still do that, what I call the pick and mix seed, which is like you have these like big bags of seed and you just weigh out how much you need and you pay for that. You pay for basically how much it weighs. If they still do that later on this year, I'll get probably a big bag of whatever their cheapest one is. Wouldn't care if it has ryegrass in it, because this is ryegrass, so that's the seed heads. And then just probably either just do the bits that's needed, or, because if it's filled in by then it'll be fine. Either do the bits that's needed, or scatter even amount over the whole lot, and then it just grow. Maybe if you have a fork by then, just put some holes in some bits so it can go into the ground. I need to pick these heads off because they've died now. I'll just put the iPod there. Okay. So yeah, I've taken these bits off because the flower heads died. Some weeds. Some weeds grown in here that will need to be taken out at some point. I'll put these in the ground bin in here. There you get the new path put in there. An old rough, sort of uneven, bumpy concrete path has been taken up, thank God, and it's now going to be replaced with, I think, some like slabs. You can see the slabs over there, so it's going to be all like new. I think it's going to be 2 slabs next to each other. It's not just like a single line of slabs, it'd be like kind of like the standard patio, like where you got 1, 2, 3, and then it'd be however many it goes down to the ends and go out in between, I imagine. So I don't think it's. I think it's too wide to have them right up against each other. There was like a big delivery van or something, like tipper truck that came earlier, and like poured all like the aggregate and soil and sand and stuff onto the front garden, so they can like use it all as a base and everything. They've been drilling earlier, so this has been going on all day. He came back with the slabs yesterday. That's what you saw when I was standing over there. I was wondering what he was doing, but he was taking back the slabs. So yeah, because I was saying that the other day when I was doing the front garden the first time, I was saying that that they could get sued if someone like tripped up on the bit that went down. They could get like sued and had to pay like a fine or something. I think it was like £1,000 or whatever it was, 100 maybe. So yeah, if someone tripped over, they'd actually get fined. So they replaced it with a nice new path that'll be slabs, and it'll be nice because it won't be like concrete after a good amount of years. Once it's a good amount of wear and tear on it, it will just like feel uneven. Like this has probably been down here. Like this concrete's probably been down here since like these were built like in the 70s, and like the amount of times cars were driven down here, all the weather, and just any bits that'll be like bits will all wear away. So and you may get cracks in it with weeds and stuff that might grow up like this. So I reckon if this is all done now, it's probably build tarmac, because that's what they do in New States. There's not really concrete in most places because there's more tarmac. Like back in the 70s, most things were this concrete. God, fly literally just flew right into my face then. If I didn't get that on video, that would have been funny. So yeah, like pretty much all the paths along here, apart from ones that might have been redone in the last, I don't know, many years, if anyone who's lived in these houses, they're all concrete. They're all straight line concrete paths, and apart from that one's brick, but most of them are just concrete because that's what they were. I guess concrete was kind of cheap, maybe. Because nowadays you can go to the new estate, some of them are slabs, some of them are brick. They're more sort of more expensive materials because the houses look more nicer. And because obviously these houses were cheaper back then, or they were just priced cheaper, so I guess they didn't want to like use all the good materials. They just want to use the basic stuff. Like this is all concrete, and a tiny little path bit is concrete. Next door is bricks, that's probably done by them at some point, but it is pretty much, most of them are just concrete because it probably must have been like the cheapest. I imagine the gardens will probably just been like dirt. They're probably like nowadays in new estates most of the time they actually do the garden soil. Like it will usually just be like basics, like in the front they'll put like the turf down, maybe some plants in the path, obviously. And the back they'll do like a little slab there and then turf it. Back then they probably just had it was all just probably just dirt turned over ground. And you got to do it yourself. Bob, I wonder why this bit's dying, because you keep on sitting on it. I know it's in the shade, but still. this grass is definitely growing quite a bit since it was actually cut. It's probably actually got up to the height that I would have done it on if I had like the petrol mower. Probably like 7 centimetres or maybe just a bit longer. But it's grown quite a bit in like 2 days, I think. Pretty sure it's been 2 days. Oh, no. It's been 3 days actually. It was,
when I'm going along, if I'm going over the left-hand lane...
It was Wednesday it was done. Wednesday afternoon. Or going this evening. So... No, it wasn't. No, Tuesday afternoon, not Wednesday. Yeah, it's definitely grown... It grows quick. Way quicker than the old one. The old lawn. If that was all done, it probably wouldn't even grown much. I used to do it shorter anyway. In the 2 weeks, we'd have like a bit of grass that come up, not much, and a couple of daisies. And that bit that was like horribly seeded that didn't grow well, that would always been the bit that would grow most. That's why it always need to be cut as often as that, and then to get a few bits. But this will all be growing at the same height. Well, the bits that are actually like that, I reckon if this wasn't looked after as much, this would be the bit that would die, and there'd be bits that would just die. Like, most of it would be fine, but it'd just be like these bits, just like the edges and stuff. But those bits will be taken care of. This bit will be new compost and stuff at some point. And so the plan would be every Tuesday. So it'd be every week it would get done. So every Tuesday I'll probably, I don't know, I might film it. Well, I'll probably do like before and after, like I did. Like I would just like get the shimmer out. I'll do the edging. I'll go along here, and there, and then I would cut it with the manual mower, because that's what I'll do it on the highest setting. Cut it and do the striping and stuff, and then maybe outline it. And then I would do any trimming along like the border there, so I know what height it is. I don't do it too short, or And last time when I'd done this, and I've done it for the first time, it's fine now because it's rained since. When it was first done, because the grass was so long and it was still a bit wet. I kind of like stains like the wall, like with green. Yeah, it's nice when you get new turf because you know that because you've put it right up to the edge and you do the strimming first time. Because all the grass is the same and it's not like bits like that, it all goes up higher and stuff. You can get a nice edge right along the edge of the strimmer. And it'll be pretty much straight. So yeah, I'll just go and take the spade back into the garden. I think my dad's gone out to pick my mum up from work, so I heard the car go when I was just finishing the bit that I've been digging. So he'll probably be back soon. There's Peanut. She literally came out here and just walked over to sit in the shade. I don't know why. She literally just went out there, but there you go. So yeah, this is you can't really see it because it's like half sun, half shade. But yeah, it's good enough for now. I can leave it for a while and then just get more refined when time comes for hopefully seeding. So yeah, I'll get probably quite big, not massive, but like larger, big enough so I can do all of that and then the front. Hopefully we'll have a fork by then, mainly just because we'll probably need it so when we make the trampoline space in the back of the garden, like here, for trampoline to turn all the ground over, and because one we had last year broke, it like snapped when we were doing the patio. So yeah, I'll now go and see if guy is still talking to the neighbours out the front, people doing the path, a butterfly. Because I want to ask him, if he's still there, he's not talking, I want to ask him if he could potentially have a look at my mower.